Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Sunho, Nam,
Yes.
well done. Okay, let's talk about the review of oligopoly. So what are the differences in oligopoly? Oligopoly, so there are few sellers like 2, 3, 4. They are selling similar or identical product. So it means it is also a mixture of monopoly and monopoly and perfect competition. So, but the real thing is that they are interdependent firms, which means firms' decision depends on other firms' actions. They always look for the price of other firms like Pepsi and Coke. Their price goes side by side, right? So they are oligopolies. Few, only two in the market, biggest market. Like in China, the telecom sector, we have China Mobile, China Telecom, Unicom, right? Three or four firms. So you see the comparable packages over there. If one firm introduces free, 5G for students, the other companies start doing the same. It means other companies are seeing the one company's. This means one company's decision depends on other companies' actions. So it means there will be a tension between the companies that is driven by their self-interest, because every company will be responsible for their own profit. That's it. Meanwhile, they need to increase their profit. Plus, meanwhile, they want to be a competitive. So natural thing is that they look their competitors' pricing strategy. If they increase the price, they will increase the price. If they decrease the price, they will also decrease the price. Right? So best of cooperating and acting like monopolists. So if they join hands together, they become monopoly. If Coca-Cola and Pepsi, there are two firms, if they join hands together, it's only one beverage company in the country, they will be monopoly, right? Collusion and cartel, yes, please. Any question?
No, not for me.
Okay. Collusion and cartel. Collusion means this is the agreement that the two companies, agree that they're going to be charging this price and produce this much quantity. So the agreement is called collusion, and the company in those agreements, those who are the partners, they are called cartel. Same like you have already heard this name in drugs cartels like that. So this is a perfect example for that, because there are only small number of drug dealers, they join hands together, they become cartel. The same happened to the companies as well. There are few sellers, they want to exploit the market, they join hands together and they become cartel. Remember, this agreement collusion is illegal because you want to increase your profit, right? By producing less. The problem is not making profit. The problem is you are creating shortages, or you are producing less for the society. That is the biggest problem. That's why this is illegal, right? So when oligopolists, they make a cartel, they join hands together, they behave like monopoly. Their analysis look like monopoly. So the unique feature of oligopoly is they join hands together, they become monopoly. They are interdependent firms, right? But they are selfish as well, because they will be only caring about their own profits. So a cartel must agree not only the level of production, but also the amount produced by each member. For example, they agree that total production is going to be 60, and we are two people, so each will be producing 30, right? But do you think that these both two will produce 30-30? Answer would be no, because there is incentive to cheat. And I hope I would be including this example here, no. So in our the PPTs I talked about over there, that there is incentive to cheat. Why? Because those who produce more, they grab maximum share towards them, maximum customer they attract with each, from you guys, and they become the power, or they grab the market share because there is self-interest, and the cartel is illegal. So legally, you are not bound. So the example of Jill and Jack over there, they own a water well and they want to supply water. Since the cartel is illegal, Jill will think that that person who violate this cartel becomes rich or grab the market share. So both will cheat. So Jack is also the CEO of his own company, Jill is also CEO of his own company, and both know that whoever's cheat, he will get the maximum share, maximum profit as well. So in that case, they ended up producing more. They agreed to produce 60 in total, and each ended up producing 40-40 each because both parties cheated, and the total production will be 80. In that case, their total profit decreases, but it is good for society because they are producing more, right? And price falls as well. So the taglines are that when firms in oligopoly individually chooses production to maximize profit, they produce output quantity greater. So, and the level of, the level produced by monopoly and less than the level produced by competition. So their output gonna be greater than the monopoly. This is oligopoly. But their output is less than perfect competition. So the output of oligopoly is in between the monopoly and the perfect competition. So their output would be greater than the monopoly output, but less than the perfect competition output. The price is gonna be, their price is less than the monopoly price, but greater than the perfect competition price, the opposite one. Right, guys? So they are in the middle. Their pricing decision is in the middle. Their quantity decision is in the middle, or production decision is in the middle, right? Their price is less than the monopoly, but greater than the perfect competition. But their production would be greater than the monopoly and less than the perfect competition. So this was the market structure. We talked about that, but for simplicity, we assume that in this example, we assume that the total cost is 0, so MC is equal to 0. So we assume that, to simplify that, so where we need to produce, monopoly extract the greater profit, so monopoly would be producing 60, and perfect competition would be they would be earning 0 economic profit, so here, 0 profit. So monopoly is in between. So monopoly production would be greater than monopoly, right? They are producing 80, less than the perfect competition, but greater than the monopoly production. But their price is above the perfect competition, but less than the monopoly. So their profit is also less than the monopoly, but greater than the perfect competition. So when they do not follow the cartel, they ended up earning lower than monopoly. If they maintained the cartel, if they maintain the collusion, because collusion is the agreement. If they maintain the collusion, both parties will be earning 3,600, which means 1,800 each. But since there is incentive to cheat, both parties will end up earning 1,600 each. And production will be higher. What if there is more people are there, so their production started increasing. So eventually, the oligopoly, when there are more suppliers coming to the market, they tend to go towards perfect competition. And now the game theory. So the question asked at the start of this lecture that we are confused with the game theory. So game theory is the study of how people behave in strategic situations, which means strategic situation is that in which each person, in deciding what action to be taken, must consider how other might respond to that action, which means strategic decision is that the decision that every company will take after considering the other person's action as well. What if the other person give this answer and he will be earning more, or he will be free in prisoner's dilemma, and I would be having a maximum, serving maximum number of time in jail. We'll talk about here. What is the dominant strategy? Dominant strategy is what is best for me among all the strategic decision. What is best for me? What is my selfish decision, regardless of the other? That is, it's called dominant strategy. So I think, okay. So wait a second. Okay. So the prisoner's dilemma, let's do that one. So we talked about that. There is, I think, Bonnie and Claudia. So the idea is that they caught the prisoner's dilemma. They caught having drugs, and let's assume that both are, arrested, and they are taken into custody and into different places, and they were interrogated. So there are two, the Claudia and I think Bonnie. So if Bonnie, I think there is this coordinate. One is called confess. This is called no confession. And there's Bonnie, and I think I just misunderstood that one. So let me just add that slide here, and then we will start from there. Okay, guys, I just have pasted that slide. Okay, so two people, Bonnie and Clade, they got arrested by possession of some kind of illegal drugs. Okay, so idea is that if Bonnie confess and Clyde also confess, both will go to the 8 years in prison, right? If Bonnie remains silent and Clade it confess,